You already know what time it is. You hanging with Vic, Dion, Eric, and myself, Chris G, and we are the Arrogant Underdogs.
It's showtime!
If you look at the height of the 90s and the 2000s, that was basically like a music renaissance. It took music and turned it on its head, like literally turned what we think of music on its head and created, record sales. And now it took us to streaming. Like if there was no 90s, streaming might not necessarily be, what it is today. But it also spawned like movies, books, and all kinds of stuff. So now hip hop is in commercials. Hip hop is everywhere now, just because of that time frame.
Yeah, that's another reason why I give Lil Wayne so much credit.
Yeah,
because he really was a huge part of that. Because there was a point where rap was actually it was falling off. It was taking a hit.
He loved Lil Wayne.
It was taking a hit, and what's the name? They was talking about it.
Give Jay-Z the credit he deserves.
Right.
Jay-Z, that's what I'm saying. But when Jay-Z retired, he put that whole retirement out there at the wrong time to me. He was already leading. He was like the face of rap, and when he did that retirement bullshit, it kind of left a void.
But he never retired.
He did. He didn't. He
admitted what it was. He
but
said
he took
what
some
it
time
was.
off, and he came back with some mediocre ass albums. So it wasn't the same Jay-Z. That immediately
Jay-Z's better
retired.
than Wayne right now. Jay-Z is better than Wayne right now. Jay-Z's more GOAT than Wayne any given Sunday.
All the way around. I don't think there was
all
ever
the way
a time.
around. You're one of three that thinks that way, bro. No one agrees with you.
I think if you're comparing it, Jay-Z would be Jordan, Wayne would be Kobe. That's how I look at it. So I'm not necessarily saying he's better than Hov, but that's my goal. But he's tier one. Jay-Z has said this shit from his own mouth. I just want to admit that. So
yeah, he was trying to sign him. Stop.
Right.
But why was he trying to sign him? What artist was he trying to sign like that to go after an artist that hard?
Come on. He was the hottest. He was the hottest in the game at the point. No one's arguing that.
Chris. Now let's keep it real. Tell me right now that Kendrick Lamar is not a better rapper than Lil Wayne.
He's a more lyrical rapper than Lil Wayne. He's not a better rapper than Lil Wayne. No.
Okay.
Eagles Cup. Cheers.
Oh God, that's fucking tough.
But how was you motherfuckers' weekend? How's it going? How's the week been? How's everything going? Let's get into it. Shit.
It's going well, man. It's going well.
This week has went fucking fast as fuck for me. I don't know about y'all, but it seems like these weeks are getting busier and busier.
Same.
Ooh,
Super fast. A lot of shit happening. A lot of information flying. Schools opening.
Over there.
You all right?
You good?
Yeah, it's like a pen.
I'm gonna call you Toke. No joke.
Man,
that Toke was no joke.
Lord have mercy.
But before we got started, I wanted to give a shout out and to recognize all the people who's fighting cancer, survived cancer, know somebody who's had that fight with cancer. Just big up to people who fought that fight. My grandfather's birthday was yesterday, and he died of cancer not too long ago. And he raised me like a father, so I want to shout out that. And I know people who personally has been dealing with that and fighting that fight. So shout out to y'all, everybody who's going through it and supporting people who's going through it, and keep up the good fight. We support y'all.
Salute.
Much respect. Damn.
Yeah, but not to be so serious. D, you look very nice. You popping over there. Look at you. Check you out.
My lip gloss is popping.
Yeah, it's that Vic said it looked like a highlighter.
God damn.
Damn, Vic.
It was a compliment. Oh, man.
It was one of those male compliments where we think we give
y'all just don't know what to say. Y'all just say whatever.
Yeah, it was like half. Like we got a little Neanderthal in us, highlighter. I didn't know what the fuck to say. What am I supposed to say? I didn't want to be a fool creep and be like, yo, D, that shit look fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do, right?
I got you.
Vic, I do that shit all the time. I'll say some shit to my girl sometimes, and she'd send me some shit back like she mad. I'll be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, because y'all sound crazy saying stuff like that. You tried. You tried though. Thank you, Vic. I appreciate it. So
You're welcome.
best thing about this week is sports. We might have a football season, y'all.
Yeah.
We might have a football season.
I think we are. I think we are. Put my Eagles cup on camera. Look at this
might
shit.
have a
Bird game.
My.
Lord have
We might
mercy.
have a
The
football
Jets,
season.
the fucking Jets traded Jamal Adams.
He's out of there. He's
no,
happy
no.
though. That's what he wanted.
Man.
The Jets pimped the Seattle Seahawks. That's what the fuck happened.
You think so, huh?
Absolutely.
They won that trade.
The Cowboys wasn't gonna pay that for it.
They basically
Two number
gave
one.
them
Two number ones. You
And a number three.
And a number three.
for a
Damn, they
person,
gave up that much?
for a person who
We got
doesn't
a
believe.
number. So check this out. We gave them Jamal Adams, and we swapped the four. We gave them Jamal Adams and a 4 next year. They gave us a 2021. Next year's number 1. Next year's number 3, and then 2022, another number 1. And McDougal, one of their starting safeties.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
Cowboys
high-ass
wasn't
price.
giving that up.
That's
why he didn't end up in Dallas. That's high.
So
that's a lot, I think.
The only reason
that's a win for y'all for sure.
His stats are pretty good.
We'll see.
Google stats are pretty good.
We'll see. I mean, you know what it is, man? You can't go into a season with that type of turmoil. At a certain point,
exactly.
It's too much.
That energy is going to show.
It's too much. Yeah, it's a distraction.
And he didn't want to pipe down. He was like, people were reaching out to him, and it was getting personal, and it was getting ugly. So, like, it is what it is, man.
Did you see the Kansas City player? The one that's a doctor. The one that's a doctor. He opted out.
Duvernay.
Yeah, he took the $150,000 to not play.
Yeah,
he's a doctor. Maybe.
Hey, smart. He knows some shit.
Yeah, but I mean, he works in a nursing home. Like his other job is working in a nursing home. So I found it fascinating that he's working in a nursing home, but he opted out of playing because of COVID.
No,
that's crazy.
He opted out because he said that he much rather, if he's going to risk catching COVID, he'd rather risk it.
Helping somebody
save lives of those people who are affected by it than actually playing on the football field and getting from a sport. So that's why everybody looks at it as a thing of respect.
Oh, okay.
It's actually it's actually an amazing story if you think about it. You don't see that all the time, you know?
Hey, that's how we do in the Kansas City, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all out there doing good deeds and shit. Now they gonna win y'all another Super Bowl.
The Dizop is in the building.
What else is happening in sports? Mike Tyson is fighting. Y'all ready for Mike Tyson?
No, I am not. I'm not ready for this.
Why not?
Look, I watched an interview when Mike was talking about this shit. And they were basically asking Mike, like, do you realize it's an exposition? Man, I can't pronounce this shit. And that you're not going to be taking it that serious. And he was like, no, when fighters get in the ring, we fight to die. I'm like, Mike, no, nigga, this is practice.
But that's his mentality. That's the way he's always thought about it. You can't expect him to think different now.
Anyone that thinks that if you put the fucking gloves on Tyson and send him in the ring, anyone that thinks that man's not going to go in there and try to knock something the fuck out has not been watching that man's life, his career, his approach to everything he does. He's got one light and it's green. There's no yellow, there's no red, it's green, and Roy Jones better be prepared. He better be prepared.
I'm very concerned about Roy Jones because I'm thinking, like, in his mind, what is he doing? Does he need money that bad?
Mike wanted to get a fight with more established boxers. He couldn't get that fight because promoters was like, so what he gonna do? Let me go knock this fool the fuck out in front of the world, and then they gonna recognize me. I'm telling you.
But do you think he's gonna knock him out?
Then hug him.
I think he's going to try to make. I think he's going to try to make a statement, and I think Roy Jones will be forced to lean back. That's what I'm saying.
I think that shit gonna go one round. Not even that.
Listen,
probably 45 seconds.
This is a promotional fight for the Legends League. They have created a league called the Legends League where older fighters are going to compete against each other in this league. So you're not going to see anything too brutal take place, but I think what's going to happen
You're crazy.
Fucking take just one punch.
You're crazy.
I think
You're crazy.
I think what's
He's
going to
not
happen
pulling
is,
his punches. He's going to go out there and try to knock his head off.
listen, this is 2020. Roy Jones last fought in 2018.
Yeah,
Mike
but
Tyson
when's the
hasn't
last-
fought since 2005. Okay? When he gets into this ring, his legs are going to turn into fucking noodles by round 2. Roy Jones probably has enough in the tank to dance and get the fuck away from him for 2
You
or
out
3
your mind.
rounds. And then he's just going to peck him and peck him and peck him and peck him.
But
You're
Mike Tyson's
It's
been
a
sparring
You have
rounds
this all
right
wrong.
now.
Hey, it is a
Mike Tyson is
8-round
sparring
fight.
rounds right now.
You have this all wrong,
You
Eric.
know what?
Why would you think he have it wrong? Just because
Roy
are
Jones
you
about
just
to get
holding
into
Mike in high regard because he's Mike? Or do you really think that at his age he's
I
prepared
think at his
to
age, from what I've seen from Mike recently with his training and everything,
Yeah.
that I don't think he can go a full 8 rounds. I think he can go probably a good
Oh, you
5.
don't think he's gonna okay. Okay.
But
Yeah, don't get it twisted. This ain't going the distance.
Mentality goes. I think it's not. I don't want to see it.
You do know that Roy Jones Jr. is a 4-sport all-star.
I know the last
This
time
man
I seen
is-
him fight, he got
Right.
knocked out by a dude that looked like Michael Blackson. Twice.
Right.
I don't believe in Roy like that. I'm sorry. I respect Roy. Nothing against his legacy, but going against
That's not fair, man. That guy who knocked him out was a badass.
Antonio Tarver. He was.
Yeah, Tarver was a beast.
Yeah, he
But
was.
that shit was funny as hell. Yo, but here's the thing, Eric. These are Mike Tyson is a knockout artist. So when you say they're older and they're blah blah, but who is he in front of? He's in front of a 50-year-old dude. You get 2 50-year-old dudes. A 50-year-old dude can knock out a 50-year-old dude.
So they're not fighting for charity? I thought this was for charity.
No, they fighting for a check.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson thinking they fighting for death. That's what he thinks they fighting for.
They fighting for bragging rights. They fighting because I'm better than you. I'm the GOAT. You ain't the
Boxing
GOAT.
is not like other sports, though. It takes a lot.
I guarantee you Tyson will be gassed by the end of the first round. I guarantee you.
I can guarantee that.
I don't think he'll be that bad. I don't think he'll be that because I don't think his people will let him get in the ring.
This is Tyson.
I don't think they're gonna let him get in the ring.
You're basically saying that Tyson is DMX and Roy Jones is Snoop.
No, I'm not saying he's gonna win, but I am saying that I don't think he would let himself, and I don't think they would allow him to get in the ring if he couldn't make it past the first round.
He's in very good shape right now.
Yeah,
he's in very good shape.
I think it'll be probably better than
both of those guys are in very good shape. To be
I mean, if you're comparing them to humans, regular humans, yes.
Yeah, they're
both of them.
So I think that's about it in sports. What else is in the news this week, y'all? Kanye.
I'm not a Kanye fan, and I think people been confusing me with the Kanye fan lately. There's only 2 good things I can ever say about Kanye. He's a music genius, and he's built an empire from hustling music. So those are 2 good things that I got to say about Kanye. The only 2 good things. But I've been defending this motherfucker all week because I don't think people is taking his mental health serious, and that's a problem for me personally.
Is he a genius because you're worried about his mental health, and he really has an album coming out? Is that possible?
No. See, I'm glad you brought that up because with mental health, Kanye still has a job to do. So when people see celebrities with mental health and people like Kanye in the music business, they just expect him to, when he's going through an episode, to just check out, stop making music, stop doing his career, stop working, go check out to a hospital or something like that. And that's just not how mental health works. People who do mental health, like if I had mental health, I still have a job to go to. Like that doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to check out and go to a hospital. I might be trying to deal with my mental health and still have a career, still go to work.
What's so funny?
I didn't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
Eric over there, huh? Like he like Eric think Kanye full of shit. That's why.
No.
Kanye full of shit.
It's because he didn't say mental health issue. That's why he just said it's funny the way he was saying it. Just, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Hey, that Pin is a motherfucker, Eric. We gonna call it that Kanye.
Do y'all feel
Pin.
bad for him? Do y'all feel bad for him?
I legit feel bad for him.
You do?
I legit feel bad for him. With everything I'm seeing, with everything with Kim is taking shots. I'm seeing people say things like if Kim was a black woman, he wouldn't be going through stuff like that, which I think is harsh.
I disagree. Yeah, I don't think so.
Kim wasn't taking shots. Kim was defending herself.
No. I'm saying people like
people are coming after her. People are coming after
Kim.
her. People are.
Oh, I thought you meant Kim was taking shots, like giving shots. Like
no,
Kanye
people
is
coming
attacking
after her. Like because I was wondering too though. I ain't going front. Like where's his wife? Because I'm gonna get security. I'm not gonna let you get on the stage. I'm gonna try not to at least. So I questioned it too. Like where's his wife?
Here's the thing though.
She came out and she said that they haven't really been talking. They haven't really been talking, which is concerning because this is the time that you would think that he needs her.
But we don't know how long this fucking lady's been trying. Like we don't know.
Right,
she said, "Yo, he's got bipolar. We've been dealing with this." And when someone has a manic episode, there's only so much you can do. Like you don't have control over a human being when they like outside of what you're gonna do, try to fucking tackle them and exacerbate the situation. So we don't know what she's been through or what's going on behind the scenes and how she's been trying to manage that while having a child with this man. Like we don't fucking know. Yeah. I feel bad for anyone that is legitimately struggling through a mental illness. I feel bad for anyone because you simply do not know, you know, what they have in their issues. And just because a man's wealthy and extremely successful, that doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve to be fucking treated like a human, and he doesn't deserve that piece of humanity. And I think what happens a lot in, you know, in entertainment, like these people, you know, and we've seen it with the Meg, the Tory. Like we clown the memes and it's all good. Look, listen, let's be clear. I am with the shit. You know, like we joke. That's what we do. But at a certain point, you kind of got to look at it all and be like, damn. Sometimes it's like, damn. Like we be on the ass of some people who be hurting in real life, in real time. And
I think we should take Kanye's mental health a lot more serious than we do. A whole lot more serious. And just the way his family's being attacked over it.
People don't understand mental health issues, period. They don't even understand how it works. So the mere fact that people don't get that he has a mental illness and he's a rapper, so he's gonna put out music. They don't understand that does just because you have a mental illness or an episode that you have to, like you said, stop what you're doing, and the whole world has to stop just because he's going through something. Would y'all buy his album now? Y'all gonna buy the album?
Well,
I haven't bought a Kanye album in like 10 years.
I'll listen to it.
I won't even do that.
I'll tell you how old I am. Buy the album, right? Instead of
I know. I'm like, what? Buy it.
Kanye? Hell yeah, I'm listening to that. That dude's he's legit genius. Of course I'll listen to it.
That's why I look at this just a tad bit differently. I think that Kanye West may have some mental health issues, but we don't know the intimate knowledge of whether or not he is properly medicated or not. So maybe he has been on his medication, and what you see is a ploy, or some plan that he's putting in place to try to advertise his new album that's about to come out.
I disagree.
He has strategically, usually every time he drops an album, something crazy is happening inside of his life. You know
that's true also. That's true also.
It wouldn't surprise me that by now that this isn't by coincidence.
So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because it seems to always happen when he has something coming out. So what happens a lot too with mental health and people that deal with any type of bipolar disorder is when you go to a certain point and let's say he has an album coming out. So that's more pressure on him. That can trigger an episode for somebody like Kanye. So maybe there is a correlation with him always about to put something out and having an episode. So that's what I see. When I see Kanye, I don't see good acting. I see a legit episode with Kanye.
The reason why it's not fair is because you got to understand that you have to understand what type of bipolar disorder does he have and what features are present inside of his diagnosis. There's access 1 and an access 2 diagnosis. So just because you say someone is bipolar, that does not mean that they all react and respond to stimuli the same way. So you can't say that a person who is bipolar, because they got a pressing issue in their life, that they may react a certain way. That may be that particular person's case. But if you don't know his diagnosis, his access 1 and access 2, you can't truly make that determination of what's going to trigger him to do certain things that are negative for him.
I mean, you're getting too technical. I mean, just talking about episodes in general, but
no, but
I mean, that's too technical.
No, it's not too technical because we're talking about this person in particular, Kanye West. But we have to understand what is his problem before we can really speak on how certain things in his life would trigger him. We don't know. So it's hogwash, basically, to speculate on it.
I know at this point he's talking about hiding in a bunker. I know people been asking where's Kim at, but the way things been making it seem like in the media and in his comments and tweets, it seems like that she's actually chasing him. That he's saying that she's trying to have doctors lock him up and stuff, and he's looking to hide him.
If he's really going through, if he really has some sort of issue with his mental capacity, she probably is trying to have him committed.
Which she should. Which I agree completely.
She absolutely should.
Which I agree completely.
And I wouldn't hold that against her.
Yeah, and if he really does have a mental illness, and those who are trying to help him, he's looking at them like they're the enemy, so he's lashing out.
Yeah,
you know, in his own mind.
Are flying to see Kanye for a reason. It ain't just because it's a joke. Like Kanye, they're going to like a lot of celebrities like Dave Chappelle, Justin Bieber, and stuff. They're going to visit Kanye in Wyoming. So I think a lot of people
weren't they working on a video?
I know him and Dave Chappelle had like filmed something, but I don't think it was a video. But it was awkward. I don't think Dave Chappelle was the best person to be around him. But
why?
That's another topic.
Kanye West, I don't believe you.
Wait, no, but what does Dave Chappelle? Why is that like?
I don't know if you've seen it. It was just awkward. The video was very awkward.
What did Eric say?
And then he told Chappelle to tell a joke, and it just got real weird.
Kanye, we know you're faking.
You think he's faking?
Damn, Eric.
Eric, you think he's faking?
I think a lot. You know what? And there's a lot of people that feel Eric's way.
I don't believe him.
Why not?
Because of all the factors around this whole thing with the album dropping. I think it's fucking publicity. This is how he's crazy like this. Like he likes this type of attention. He knows nothing is gonna happen. What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing? I don't know,
but why would you think that him and his family would label him as being bipolar just for an album?
Listen to me. I'm not saying that he is not bipolar. That's not what I'm saying. But just because you're bipolar don't mean you can't be cunning and slick and come up with plans to do stupid shit to try to make money. You think everybody with bipolar disorder is a dummy or something? Like,
no, I just have a hard time. I just have a hard time thinking that someone who has bipolar will use that, for monetary gain. I have a hard time.
It depends on how sick of an evil genius you are.
Eric don't trust nobody in Hollywood. Nobody.
I typically don't either. But I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, listen. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. That motherfucker's a double entendre genius.
Yeah, I think so.
If like he's wicked with it like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what?
Blessings to you, Kanye. That's positive energy to you. I hope you recover. I hope you get well, because I truly believe that you need mental health, and I hope you just come and become aware of your situation right now, and you go get the help you need.
Drop that fire, Kanye. Drop that fire.
Fucking Eric, you
we
asshole.
need it.
Oh boy,
we need it.
But on the other side of hip hop, we got Joe Budden. Joe Budden's time is coming up. It's time for Joe Budden to figure out.
Playing with Monopoly money.
Listen, do y'all think that Joe Budden can garner Joe Rogan money?
No.
Why not?
Not from
think,
Spotify. I think he
think
can outside of Spotify.
Right. It
but not
doesn't
from
necessarily have
Spotify.
to be Spotify. He can go somewhere else.
I don't. I mean, can't listen. Technically,
YouTube
can
TV,
he?
Facebook
Yeah. Can
TV.
they give him 200 million? Yeah, but will he? No, because the market has been set. Joe Rogan set the market. Number one, but number two, it's just my opinion. Like Joe Rogan has been doing this for 15 years. He is the poster boy. You know what I'm saying? Like he is the OG of podcasts. Number one. So not only did Joe Rogan got paid for legacy, too, a lot of that money came from Spotify, knew who he was. That's what they had to give him to make him jump because he had all the leverage. Joe Rogan said on his show, they've been coming after me. I'm not listening, and they were like, so why now? And he was like, he was like, a lot of the BS that we've been having to deal with lately, as far as being censored, was getting annoying, and I wanted to make sure I'm in a platform where I don't have to deal with that shit. And that's one of the main reasons why he jumped. I say that to say that again, I don't think Joe Budden, and that's no discredit to Joe Budden. I think they got a great thing going on. I respect him and everything he's doing. But I just don't think that he has the same leverage that Joe did when Joe got that bag. That's all I'm saying. He has leverage.
But Joe Budden can go with what he's done. He can go to YouTube TV. He can go to Facebook TV. It doesn't necessarily. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily have to be stuck in the podcasting hole.
I think if you use a football analogy,
y'all don't understand is that the censorship is different. Your show changes, your platform changes.
It's like this. If this is the NFL, Joe Rogan is Tom Brady. Joe Budden is Patrick Mahomes. That's how I'm looking at it. I know Eric like that shit.
So what you're saying is Joe Rogan got that white man money.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
Basically. And but I think Joe Budden deserves just as much as Joe Rogan. Honestly, because he's the new wave of this podcast. Like he's birthed a lot of podcasts, so yeah. I think he's the Joe Rogan of this era, of podcasting. So I think he deserves his bag, and I know he will get it. You have to be careful though, because he's been throwing shots at Spotify.
I'm not disputing he deserves anything. I'm just saying that I don't think he'll get a Joe Rogan bag because I don't think he has the same leverage that Joe Rogan has. And I definitely don't think he's the Patrick Mahomes and fucking Rogan Tom Brady. I do not agree with none of that shit.
Well, look, the way he's been making comments and stuff, they offered him something he really didn't like.
Oh yeah, right. So what
happened? What happened?
I think he has 17 episodes left.
17. Okay.
17.
So yeah. So what that tells you there is that I'm fucking right. And they not trying to give it. They're letting him know early off top, my man, you're not getting a Joe Rogan bag. This is where your bag is at. And he's bucking and he's negotiating. He's basically trying to say, you got me fucked up. And he's got to scare them into thinking that he'll leave because that's his best leverage. His best leverage is I won't.
I think that'd be a big mistake for Spotify.
I don't think it'd be a huge mistake for Spotify, actually. I think it'd be a huge mistake for Joe Rogan.
Spotify's balling. They just got Michelle Obama.
Exactly.
Oh, they just got the Michelle. Yeah, that's right.
And not only that, y'all gotta think about this with podcasting. Podcasting is probably one of the only mediums where you can get an abundance of it for free. Like you can get an abundance of it. You're only gonna pay for the Michelle Obama.
You know, Joe Budden's not top 10 in podcasts, right?
Yes, he is. Right? What?
He's probably in the hip-hop market. No, he's not. I don't know if he's not.
Overall, he's not.
Probably in the hip-hop genre, he probably is, but I don't think he would be overall.
That's my point. What I'm trying to tell you is that the podcast world is vast. When we think about Joe Budden, we're thinking about this little hip-hop culture ecosystem. He's big there.
No,
outside of he's not a household name.
He's been number one on Spotify. Not just hip hop category. He's been number one on Spotify for like the longest. He's like usually the number one all the time.
Joe Budden?
That's Spotify.
Joe Budden podcast on Spotify. Yeah, he's usually the number one podcast.
But that's
now
that
Joe Rogan's
Spotify.
game, that's gonna change. That's gonna change, of course.
But my point is that that's just Spotify. There's millions other platforms.
But still, that's huge for. I mean, to be the number one on Spotify, that's still
that's
huge.
true. That's pretty big because I wouldn't have put him number one on Spotify. I wouldn't have put him. Honestly, I wouldn't have put him number one in any podcast.
Yeah, he does numbers. Go on YouTube, look at his video. They do numbers. He
I knew he did numbers on YouTube, which is why I put him at going. I just figured the perfect spot for him would be Facebook TV or YouTube TV or something like that. I wouldn't have thought that he needed to stick around in Spotify and get a big bag because I don't think they're gonna pay him.
I just hope that he has ownership within his podcast, that he doesn't just sell all his rights. I want him to really keep that black owned. I don't want him just to go sell all his rights. Joe Smart, the way he talks about artists and stuff, selling their contracts and selling their ownership, I think he'll get the right deal done. But I don't know if he'll be with Spotify, but
yeah, I don't think so.
Good luck to you, because I hope you get your bag. The more money you make, the more money we make one day. So don't get that goddamn bag. Do it for us all, player.
Well, according to Podtrack, right, as of June 2020, top 10, 20 podcasts in the country, neither Joe is top 20.
Neither?
And where's that from?
Neither Joe. Podtrack.
Oh.
Yeah. Podcast industry ranking top 20 podcasts, U.S. audience, June 2020.
Shit.
The Daily is the number one podcast in the country. NPR News is number 2.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Up First is number 3. Call Her Daddy is number 4, and the Ben Shapiro Show rounds out your top 5.
Ben Shapiro
and Arrogant Underdogs number 6, motherfucker.
You know who's number? Check this out. Call Her Daddy. You know who's the publisher? Barstool Sports.
Barstool. Yeah.
Whoever that whatever that show is, because I don't know. And Pardon My Take is number 9. Barstool again.
Well, that Barstool is probably a good spot for him. Actually, that's probably a really good spot for him.
Neither he won't go there. He won't go there. Neither of these dudes are in the top 20. So you got to understand the podcast game is freaking vast, and Joe's conquered a lane in his lane, and he's trying to maximize his bang for his buck in that lane.
Was he already offered something?
What's that?
Was he already offered something?
We don't know for sure, but he's been hinting at it.
He's acting like he was, and he was offended.
And he was lowball, yeah. That's what he's acting like.
He was lowball,
yeah.
He didn't say.
He
may not be. He probably can't.
He probably can't say. Yeah, he hasn't said he's been offered anything, but he just the way he's been acting, like he's offered something.
I think if he was offered 50, 60 million, it's the years that's important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, so if he was
a lot for him,
if he was given 50, 60 for 3 to 5 years, he'd be a fool not to take that.
I agree.
Just get your money. Hopefully, get your motherfucking money.
Because if you break it, Joe Rogan got 100 million, but Joe Rogan got like what?
Chris is saying get his money, but if he played for the Dallas Cowboys,
ooh.
Fucker. If he get the fuck off the air if he played for the Cowgirls.
I told y'all.
We just switched to Dakota Rain.
Everybody y'all always want everybody to go get their money unless they got a star in their helmet.
We don't like them people.
Well,
I'm just saying.
We don't like them.
We got Mr. Half-It Billy out there in Kansas City, so
all y'all teams. God damn. I want to hear that shit.
Vic
Eagles are nothing. Eagles are nothing.
Vic got annoyed.
Eagles are nothing. This bird call. Bird gang in this bitch. Ah! Y'all gonna learn that bird call.
All right, so homeschooling. They had a lot of kids are going back to school this week, and man, parents are going back and forth. Some of them are pissed. Some of them are pissed
that I know.
That they got to make a decision. Here in Florida, we got a choice where we can either homeschool our kids or send them to school in like a hybrid fashion. And I don't know what
hybrid.
Don't know what to do. By hybrid. So what they decided to do is elementary school kids will go to school 5 days a week, but above elementary, so the middle school and the high school kids will go to school 2 to 3 days a week. And the reason that they're doing that is because you can space them out. So instead of having 30 kids in a class, if you are only going to school 2 days a week, some kids will go to school on Monday and Tuesday, some will go Wednesday and Thursday, and then this way you can have 10 to 15 kids in a class instead of it being full. And so they're calling it a hybrid option.
I think they rushing the gun. They jumping the gun. They're rushing.
I think so, especially here in Florida. I think they should just do.
Yeah, especially the hot spots. Everybody in the state of Florida.
I think it should be statewide. I think you should be able to decide statewide, and it's based on your infrastructure. So
well, you can decide as a parent. I can choose to do homeschooling, but I don't know what to do because it's not easy.
They just rolled out. They just rolled out ours here in Maryland. So we got the email. I went through it. Me and my lady went through it, and we're gonna have a Zoom meeting with, a lot of the the people in our grade, the teachers, and all that stuff. I like it. They got a detailed plan, so we could send our girl to school full time, or she could do online learning from home. They gave us the option, and when they go, they got a regulated set of kids. Everyone's got separate spacing, so they're handling it the best way they possibly can. Now everyone's different. In our school, we're happy with the way they're dealing with it. If but that's just the way I look at it. But
send your girls to school, or you're gonna keep them home?
I'm okay. We're probably, if the plan is what we think it is, we're probably gonna send her to school.
I think it should be mandatory for them to everybody stay home.
August 31st.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're going to mandate that people are going to stay home, now what do you do for childcare? What do parents do? You're going to compensate parents?
That's what I mean.
You can't do that.
They should get a cut of salary for that. I think they all should be paid a salary for homeschooling and childcare.
Who's going to pay
it? We are, of course. We pay for everything else. The government, they're going to tax us for it, but the government needs to pay for it. I think that should be some type of relief fund that they have.
And you're saying, so you pay the parents whatever their salary was. So if you were making $100,000 a year and you got to homeschool your kid, you think that they should pay you $100,000 a year?
No, I think it should be a set salary. I don't think it should be like what you make on your regular job. I think they should pay the parents a set salary for after having the homeschool. So I don't know if that's the same a teacher would make. They just take that salary and pay them whatever teachers would make, whether it's 40 or 50,000. They give it to the parents. But I think they definitely should be compensated.
Somewhat on the lines of what Gibbs is saying, but I think parents should be able to receive a stipend for staying at home and being that proctor for all of those children that may be in the home for homeschooling. I also think that they should be trained and receive some type of certificate for being able to proctor and tutor when it comes to test administration and things like this for learning at home. That way, at least it would take some of the strain off the household. If one parent had to stay home, there should be some type of stipend. I think that parent or that household should also be allowed like a food stamp allowance on a monthly basis, and also be able to receive Medicaid. So if one parent is able to work and the other one is able to stay home, I feel like that they should be able to enroll into a benefits program that would allow them to be able to still take care of their family while they're going through this. Because I also believe that distance learning and working from home is actually the wave of the future. I don't know if we're ever going to see a society where there's so many administrative jobs that can be done at home return to an office environment. So I think that we are finding out that systems still run well with people working at home, and I think we're going to see this a lot more in the future. So being able to work from home, learn from home, all things that in store for the future. So I think it's a good start to try distance learning for the kids across the
I don't mean no disrespect, but there's a lot of parents who are shitty parents. So there's no way they can be good teachers. So a lot of kids go to school, have a better life from going to school than being home. A lot of kids. It's not a small number. It is a
that's what I'm
massive
saying.
number.
It'd be a lot of parents stealing some fucking money, and that's
So in order to get those benefits or money, I think it should be certain requirements, like your child has to maintain this grade. You have to prove that you're doing this. You have to hold so many Zoom meetings with other teachers and tutors, blah, blah, blah.
It's not going to be just for free. It's going to be stipulations because they're going to have to get trained, get certified, and so on and so on and so on. I think it's a process. And those who can't do that, then of course your kid would be sent to school. And those kids that are sent to school will do a great job of trying to keep them separate. But this allows us a large percentage of the kids or parents will say, you know what? Shit, I'm going to educate my kid at home. I'm going to assist the teacher that's doing the distance learning online, and I'm going to be their tutor in the classroom, basically.
So I have a question. What do you say? I asked this question before. What do you say to the person that says, well, why should you get paid? That's your fucking responsibility. That's your child. It's your responsibility to help educate your son.
It is.
Do teachers get paid fucking twice if they're doing the same thing? If a teacher's doing that and teaching their son at home and teaching your kid at school, they don't get paid twice. So why should a parent get paid for doing something that may be deemed as their responsibility already?
Because I already pay into the system through taxation to afford my portion of help from the school. So me being help from the school is what I've already paid into the system to do. But if this institution that I'm paying into has certain responsibilities and laws and things that we already have set in stone, and if they can't provide those things, then they must decommission themselves and allow us the opportunity to do some things differently. But if you're still going to run a public school system, and I'm still a citizen of this municipality, and I'm allowed to enroll my kids into this public school system, then there are certain things that are going to have to take place, obviously, for you to continue to get the education and to continue to get the funding that you need. So you need me to be able to do
I'm concerned with the whole idea that you would put it back into because you're essentially putting it back into the government's hands, right? And that's the one thing that we don't need. They can't even handle the unemployment crisis right now. But now you also want to take our children and put it back in their hands and say, they're gonna train the parents, they're gonna provide funding, they're gonna make sure there's an infrastructure for internet and books and all this kind of stuff for parents to be able to teach kids in the next 2 months. That ain't happening. There's no way that's gonna happen. So now you have to make a decision right now. What are we gonna do with these kids? Right now in Florida, school is set to start August 10th.
So
ain't no way we're gonna be trained.
So help me to understand this. Now, I know when school starts, but you mean to tell me that the kids who are going to do distance learning, they already understand what program and everything they're using, or they're going to have to be trained on it when school starts?
No, well, Florida, in Florida's case, we use something, we have Florida Virtual School anyway. So that was a program that existed before we had the pandemic issue. And of course, kids would have, all of the kids won't know, you're right, some of them will have to be trained. But what you're proposing is that you have to get the parents up and running to be able to facilitate it. But on online
only the parents, obviously, that are capable of doing so. Everybody wouldn't be able to do it because there's obviously going to be some type of competency test that you're going to have to be able to take. I'm just saying,
but we can't even get to the point. We can't get to that point because not every parent even has internet.
Well, yeah, they would have to provide free
internet.
Right.
Well, not even every parent has laptops
and laptops.
They supplies, and not every parent even has what they need to get started.
It's a lot of infrastructure that has to get baked in.
It really is. It really is. How do you
before that could even?
Listen, but listen, take my idea off the table. Most municipalities are going with distance learning from day one. So how do they solve those problems right now when most of them don't have computers?
That's true.
I don't know how they're doing. Here in Florida, they gave every kid
sending them those Chromebooks. They're using a lot of Chromebooks.
So they're coming from somewhere, and these students.
Which sucks.
No, you're right that they're giving them laptops, but it hasn't gotten to a point where it's making more kids pass or it's getting kids where they need to be. It's not happening.
Chris, I just want to say, brother, Your 5G conspiracy theory is looking real good right now.
You know what I'm saying? Look, they be trying to call me crazy, but
it's looking real
it all
good
leads back to it.
Because I know of a way that they probably can make sure that all those little laptops are filled with internet. But that's for a different discussion.
Just like they got those government phones they give out for free. They're gonna have laptops like that, and they're all gonna be 5G. Mic drop.
You know what? I was a little.
We have to talk about that one day because the things that y'all say are conspiracies, I just don't see them as conspiracies.
The things Chris have told me off camera are starting to line up.
A lot. Future teller, I'm trying to tell you, it's my special power.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, that's all the topics that we have.
Oh shit, we out here. Well, we appreciate everybody for stopping by, listening, giving us a view. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this shit everywhere, 20 times a day, 100 times a week. We love you and we appreciate y'all.
And God bless the Kansas City Chiefs.
Check Eric out with the God bless. Boy, that's something I never
New York Jets.
Hollywood
New York
business
Jets.
in the building.
We just stole some draft picks. We about to go back to the draft this year.
Boo this
It's gonna
man.
be on and popping, son. It's gonna be on and popping, son. Can't wait.
You wait till the
Can't
end of the
wait.
shit to put on the scarf, Vic. Come on, Hollywood, Vic, man. Come
Can't
on,
wait.